everyone, welcome to the Sapphire Spider Oracles channel. This is Mother Spider. Thank you so much for being here. This is a brand new channel. I am just getting started, so I do ask that if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe, comment. I would love to see you guys. Anyway, so like I said, I'm just starting out. I just recently did some videos for the full moon in Scorpio for everyone's sign, so maybe go check that out. I also just made a video in regards to Pluto retrograde, which was really awesome, and that was my first video. It was very powerful, so I highly encourage you guys to go check those out. We are doing the very first pick a pile tarot reading today though, and not just tarot. I have oracle cards in here as well. Some of the decks I'm using today, I'm using this beautiful Animal Spirit Knowledge cards oracle deck by Seddon Boulet. I believe that's how you pronounce her last name, might be Boulet. Boulet. And these are absolutely gorgeous cards. So that's what we have here on the top, and that is where I want you to start. So definitely check out these animals. This one is the pelican. There are other birds in here, but specifically this is the pelican card. This is the minotaur, and this is the cat spirit, specifically the goddess Bast from Egypt. So these are your three characters I want you to look at and resonate on. Pick a pile, pick whichever little animal spirit is calling to you. Some other cards we've got in here. I am an artist outside of my spiritual practices, so I have this beautiful deck, the Artist Way. These are creativity cards, very much artist cards, but it's not just for artists, it's for creators in general, and we are all creators in some way. So whether you're a writer, poet, photographer, artist, or someone that just, you know, has a hobby, gardening, whatever it might be, here's your creativity spirits coming through for you guys. And of course, as I spoke about in my full moon readings, it is, the veil is very thin right now. It's technically Samhain in the southern hemisphere, so it's a great time to call on your ancestors. And I have been working with this Wildwood tarot deck for years now, very much tied to my own personal ancestral history. I used it in those full moon readings. I'm just working with this deck right now because I've been just working with my ancestors the past couple of weeks, and specifically right now. So then I'm calling in your ancestors as well. This reading, it's not only pick a pile, this is hidden messages, hidden things that need to be cleared coming out of the full moon, right? So by the time I post this, we will be coming out of the full moon. It will be time to release intentions. It will be time to clear things. So this is messages from your ancestors and animal guides, spirit guides, about the things that are hidden that you cannot see that need to be released, because it's those hidden blocks that usually are the hardest to clear, right? And that's what I felt called to do while I was shuffling your cards. So we're going to talk about the hidden things that we are not seeing yet that need to be cleared. I have rose quartz here, desert rose selenite, and Bumblebee Jasper. So you might pick one of those, or you might pick off of the animal cards here. So just take your moment, and I will be right back. This is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and we will go in order. Okay. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose pile number 1, welcome. This lovely little rose quartz here, you can't maybe see it from your angle, but there is a lovely little rainbow in here, and it keeps making this like little turtle shape at me. I don't think you can see it in this video, but you know how crystals are, right? It's like right here, but you might not be able to see it. But in my view, it keeps making like this little rainbow turtle shell at me, so I'm kind of feeling that. I'm just gonna set that up here for now. And so let's get started looking at your cards. So the only card I've seen so far for you guys is this pelican card. Okay, and I'm gonna save these tarot cards for last. So let's start here with your oracle cards and everything. So first of all, the pelican, I've had this card myself this month. It is very much actually a card that resembles Christ energy. It's very much about wisdom, focus, self-sacrifice, and nurturing. And the back of this card talks about how the pelican, there's like a symbolic story about how the pelican would pierce its own heart to shed the blood to feed its own children. So very much like Christ, right? Sacrificial giving of oneself to the point where it might cause you harm, or you know, but at the end of the day, right, similar to a Christ figure, you do the self-sacrifice because you know it's worth it, and you know that those people need help and they need protection and they need nurturing, right? So take that in. It's sorry, I'm just kind of getting something. I am reading the back of the card though, just to make sure that I'm not. Yeah, it's just talking about how their beaks can hold fish, holding a large amount of wisdom. They fly, so very much that air energy, and then just kind of like that symbolism that comes through in the card about Christ energy. What I love here, though, is all these other birds. To me, even though this is the pelican card, the illustration itself is just so much about bird energy, and birds are always, like, we've got an owl here, very much wisdom, the pelican carrying that fish, self-sacrificial. We've got like a swan here, an ibis. So Thoth, knowledge, very much about, yeah, using your mind, communication, and then thinking of other aspects of birds, protecting the nest, right? Carrying the food home and regurgitating it up so that the young can have it. Very much about like holding on to things that are worth holding on to, and then protecting and nurturing and giving it, right? So I'm very much feeling that. So maybe you're not, let's read some more of your oracle cards here. Doors open. This is a beautiful card. It says, what we really want to do is what we are really meant to do. When we do what we are meant to do, money comes to us, doors open for us, we feel useful, and the work we do feels like play to us. This is telling you very much that, okay, let me just put it in this way. If I'm getting bogged down with work and that's not where my passion is at because I want to go do something else, this is that card that's basically giving you that permission slip to say it's okay that you want to go do something else right now because that's what you're really meant to do. So you might be feeling a calling. If you chose pile 1, you might feel a calling right now and you're not sure if you should follow it. And maybe that's where part of your hidden block is. You're kind of going back and forth, not sharing that with others, not following that passion because maybe you think it's not worthwhile. You think that maybe you're trying to make a business and you think that it's not going to be profitable and the money's not going to come. Maybe you're just wanting to do a hobby, but you feel like you're wasting all this other important time when you need to get other important things done. Just remember that play is just as important in our lives as work is. And this card is encouraging you to say, like, your ideas, your hobby, your passions are not stupid. They're worth following. And the reason why you feel so passionate about those things is because it's what you're meant to do. So there's that. And that's where we get our next card, which is believe. As artists, we must find those who believe in us and in whom we believe, and band together for support, encouragement, and protection. Now, as an artist, especially I've been through art school several times, let me just tell you, like, yes, definitely. You have to band up with the people that actually see your vision. So if you've got a lot of naysayers around you right now, especially coming back to this energy of maybe feeling like you shouldn't pursue this, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't waste your time doing this, it's just a dream, it's just a thing, you know, you might be surrounded by some negativity and some negative people. Number one, those people need to go. And they don't have to like go from your whole life, but they at least need to get out of your space when you're thinking about working on this, okay? Kind of cut that off. Find the people that do support you and encourage you and protect you. And that being said, that's where kind of coming back to some bird stuff too, communication, flying over the negativity. Birds of a feather flock together. Birds of a feather flock together. Find your flock. Find your flock. I think that's going to help you get through whatever block this feels like to me. This definitely feels like you've got ideas and they might have been really coming to fruition around the full moon. Like you really got that illumination and idea, but maybe you're still just very nervous and holding back. And that's where, because it feels safe, right? You're not sure if you should kind of follow this because it feels safe. I love this card. Big slap in the face most of the time. Safety is a very expensive illusion. And I love that too, because essentially what that is saying is, number one, you're never safe. And yet all the time you are safe. In spiritual practices, we always talk about how we have to feel safe in our own bodies. We have to feel safe in our own spirit. And the thing is that the outside world bombards us with messages all the time of fear and negativity that make us feel like we are unsafe. Look at the news right now, right? Granted, I'm being very cautious because of everything that's going on in the world right now. You know, I'm not really going out. Like 2 days ago, they just announced that murder hornets are all in the US. So like, you ain't got to tell me twice. I ain't going outside. But that's what I mean. Same kind of thing here, right? You might be getting a lot of negative messages about your ideas and passions, or at least some negative vibes, that it's unsafe to walk through that door, that it's unsafe to walk through that door and try something new, that your ideas will not come to fruition, that all these naysayers are around you and they're like, no, this is dumb, this is dumb, this is dumb. Stop it. Go find your flock. And you see this rose quartz again? This is self-love. And I feel this very much. This hidden message right here from your ancestors is all about some self-love. And they're telling you that your ideas and your hobbies and your passions are worthwhile. You just need to find the right circle and the right people. Stop trying to feel safe, because guess what? The truth is you're never safe, and yet you're safe all the time. Spirit's got you. That's your safety. You are your own safety. Spirit is your own safety. If you were to try something new and it wasn't going the way you wanted it to, you're your own safety. Pull back. Stop doing it, right? You don't need other people to tell you what's right and what's wrong and what's safe and what's not safe and what's smart and not smart for you to do. Self-love. You've got something working for yourself here, and you need to hold on to that. All right, let's check out some tarot. Let me slide these cards up just a little bit for you. I'm gonna hide that pelican for just a second while I kind of move some things. I was tired of my black tablecloth in my last videos. I just felt like something happier needed to come through, so I have this. This is actually a scarf. It's a octopus scarf. So then I have not peeked at these tarot cards whatsoever. I'm just gonna lay them out and we're gonna see what comes out. Okay. Wait, hang on. Sorry, I just corrected my deck yesterday. I flipped all of my cards up right because, again, kind of like this, like I got tired of my cards coming out in reverse. Some people don't even take reverse cards. I do, but I was trying to change my own mental perspective on things. So instead of confusing myself looking at negative cards, I was like, you know, we're just gonna flip these all right side up. So I'm doing the same for you today because I just know that I've fixed that deck already. Okay, yeah. 2 pages, 11. What you are really meant to do is what you are meant to do. When you do what you are meant to do, you feel good. And that feeling of goodness brings abundance, which attracts the money, which attracts the people that are like-minded, which attracts your flock, which attracts all of these things. These 2 pages right here, lining up right under these oracle cards, it's like a doorway. These are the doorposts. You've got a page of stone and a page of vessels. Real world manifestation, emotional, spiritual creativity flow. So yeah, this is totally possible for you to manifest in the real world, but this page of stones right here is telling you to take your time, be slow, think about your steps. And it usually has to do with school and studying and scholarship. So maybe you need to learn some things first before this all comes into fruition, and maybe you know that, and maybe that's why you're also kind of feeling negative. It's like, oh, I need to take some classes, or oh, I need to actually spend time reading and researching, or maybe you've never had like a business. I keep saying business. I feel like this is a business venture for you, or at least a hobby, right? Something like that, something you're trying to put out into the world, whether that's for money or whatever. It first of all needs to be about passion, your personal passion. This is telling you you can manifest this in the real world, but take your time. It's still in its little baby phase. A page is like a child energy, so it's still in its baby phase. And you need to just take baby steps as you move forward. Study, maybe take some classes, maybe make sure you've got your P's and Q's in order, you know? And just keep your eyes open. But this is slow moving energy, but it is real, grounded, physical, manifesting energy. And this page right here tells me it's like a friend. I love this card. Very friendly, very nurturing, very sweet energy. Maybe you've got somebody to back you up and help you with this idea. Maybe this is kind of, it's not a bird, but maybe this is part of your flock in a way. Someone who's emotionally supportive, someone who kind of like a bouncing board that you can bounce ideas off of. They're a water, maybe a water sign too. They're going with the flow. They're very playful. They're down for your idea. And maybe that's what you need too, is like a partner, that flock. Maybe you need a partner to help you manifest this idea. So these 2 pages here are here to tell you, you can do this. You just need to find the right people and you need to take your time. Now, the other key to this is all about balance. This is usually temperance in a traditional tarot. So frugality, conservatism, taking your time, making sure it's balanced. This is the red snakes here, they're kind of like dragons, right? This red one usually represents fire and blood, and this white one usually represents ash and bone. So blood and bone, right? You need blood and bone to make a person walk and talk. You can't bring ideas to life without the blood and the bone. Blood is very much like water. It's a life force. Going back to that pelican, right? Pouring your own life force energy into this project. And it's not about self-sacrifice, because that's coming straight from your heart, right? You want to do that. You want to put your energy into that. And even if sometimes it drains you a little bit, as our most prominent creations and business adventures usually are, it's something you want to do, and you've got this support. So kind of coming back to this, be balanced, right? You might have a lot on your plate. You might, if this is like a business or a side project, then you probably already have like a day job or some other stuff going on. So take your time, be balanced. Make sure you're taking care of what you already have on your plate before you start taking care of some other things. I'm sorry, by the way, if you can see my thumb. It's I haven't made it to the nail salon since quarantine, so we just rocking it all natural, and I kind of have a bad habit of chewing on my nails every now and then, so you know, ignore it. But anyway, I've just coming back to this balance, right? It's like, and this is your ancestor peeking out again. This is kind of like a little reminder that you can do this. It's all about that balance though when it comes to these energies. However, this Empress right here is telling you to go for it, honey. You are, whether you're a man or a woman, you are pregnant with this idea and you are ready to birth it. This is like Mother Nature card. It's the Empress, but in this deck, it's very much like Mother Nature. So we're talking, just fruitfulness, bounty, little creatures, little babies, little ideas coming to life, right? It's springtime, things being born. This is your big pot of like milk and honey, and it's being offered to you. And it's the same thing. You're probably trying to offer something to people through this passion, and that you are so powerful in that. This is, yes, do it. This is part of your empire. Yes, do it, do it, do it. Take your time. Find the right flock. Keep your balance. Don't let it get to your head. But yes, you are ready. You are standing up in your power. You are ready. You're ready. Stop thinking that it's all about safety. You're ready. Such a good card. So powerful. So full of life. So ready to be born into the world. I'm telling you, this is an idea or a project or a business you're trying to birth into the world. And what's happening first, though, right now, too, is this is a death cycle. Some other things have to clear out. Some other things have to clear out before this can really be coming in. You have to pick the bones clean. Why do you feel this passion? Why do you feel this drive, right? Start at the roots, start at the bones, start at the blood and bone of this project before you can put flesh and hair and beautiful features on it, right? It's just like creating a person. It's just like being God. It's just like being a creator. You have a project, an idea, a business, and you're trying to bring it to life, and you have to shape it, but you can't start from the outside and work your way in. You got to start from what's on the inside and work your way out. That's exactly how everything is born and created, right? When you think of eggs, everything's made on the inside first before it cracks open. Same thing with women. Babies are formed on the inside before they come out. You got to clean some stuff out from the inside first, get rid of it before all of this can form and come out. That's beautiful. So you might be having some hard times right now letting go. Okay, so coming back to the main message of that hidden block, right? You're blocked right now, and you're not, I don't even want to say blocked. You're not blocked. You're in this death cycle, and death is, of course, just the ending of something else. So you've got to clear some things off your plate, I feel like. Clean the bones. And this is also into yourself. Clean yourself out. Make sure you've got your stuff in a row. Make sure you're straight. And part of that cleaning process too is cutting out this fear and negativity and maybe these people or energies that are around you that are not feeding this idea in this project. Look, I'm telling you, spiritually pregnant with this idea. Totally able to manifest in the physical world. Find your flock, stay balanced, and don't rush it. Don't rush it. Clean this stuff out first. Take your time. You are fully supported by spirit right now, though. Just take your time. There is no rush. There is plenty of time. If you're feeling pressured, take your time. It will all come to fruition in divine timing. Okay, that was beautiful. Thank you, Pile One. I hope you really enjoyed that. I really did. I hadn't looked at your tarot cards, and I didn't really even look at the descriptions on most of these. The only thing I really saw was the pelican. So this was a beautiful reading to come out. Thank you so much. And like I said, just like, share, and subscribe. If you were digging this, comment, let me know what your project is or how you feel about this, and I will see you guys later. Thanks. Hello, Pile 2. I just wanted to say, I, first of all, love this crystal. So if you picked this pile off of this crystal, it's one of my favorites. Desert Rose Selenite is all about unprogramming your brain. I'm sorry my light's a little contrasty today. I didn't like where it was, so I'm still experimenting with my whole setup, you know. But Desert Rose Selenite is all about unprogramming negative programs from your mind. Therefore, to open up the pathways to rewire new positive programs in, right? So very much feeling about the hidden blocks for you guys. And coming right off the bat with this Minotaur, before I even open up this Minotaur energy, all about getting to the center of the maze and facing that dark beast, right? So let's crack this bad boy open. I haven't looked at anything except for this top card. So the Minotaur, let's just kind of start here, I guess. And they call it the bull. Bull cults were ubiquitous in ancient cultures, whose devotees worship the beast as a supreme deity. It's all about renewal, fertility, and growth. But the bull was also a symbol of renewal, and the creature was ritually sacrificed with its blood sprinkled on the spring fields to ensure new growth. In ancient Greece, these rituals were associated with Dionysus, the Greek god of vegetation and renewal. Dionysus, who was frequently represented as a bull and sometimes as a goat, was dismembered by the Titans and subsequently resurrected. The Spanish bullfight is a vestige of the ancient bull sacrifice. Okay, so there's number one, being a sacrificial offering, being a sign of fertility and growth. Here we go, though. The Minotaur, another deity from Greek mythology who had the head of a bull and the body of a man, is also associated with sacrifice and the cycle of renewal. The slaying of the Minotaur, the devourer of youth, restores life. Now, here's the thing. If you know anything about the story of the Minotaur was born that way, right? He's the product of a bull and a human, a queen. Or actually, I'm sorry, I think I just said that wrong. A god and a queen, and was born this way. And the king put him, because he was so unhappy with this child, obviously, put him in the middle of the maze. And that's where you get the whole, sorry, I don't know why I'm pausing. I'm searching for a word. It's where you get the whole legend of Theseus. And this is, okay, sorry, spirit talking to me right now. There's a lot about sacrifice for you guys. And you need to unprogram that, I think. We're going to find out. We're going to dig in more. But right off this bat, before I've even gotten into your cards, this is all about sacrifice. In the story of Theseus, King Minos, who runs the island where the Minotaur is, it's like historical tribute, kind of like Hunger Games, right? Like King Minos orders certain people off the mainland to give up their children to be sacrificed to the Minotaur, and they have to get through the maze and go fight the Minotaur and everything. Most of them die until there's Theseus. But the only reason why Theseus survives is because the king's daughter, the princess Andromeda, is it Andromeda? I think it's Andromeda. If it's not Andromeda, it's Ariadne. Anyway, one of the A's. she falls in love with him, gives him the ball of string to help lead him out of the maze, and that's the whole, and gives him the sword, and so that's how he both defeats the Minotaur and gets out of the maze. Fun fact, he then gets with her, sails away, they make love on an island, and then in the morning she wakes up and he's done sailed away and left her on the island. So, as much as there's like a hero story in there, there's also a story about someone who just kind of like took advantage of somebody to get out of the maze. Anyway, coming back to this, there's a lot about required sacrifice, someone demanding other people sacrifice their children, sacrifice their things, someone sacrificing some of their objects to help somebody out and then being taken advantage of. There's very much this feeling of sacrificial energy and maybe being taken advantage of because of it, and maybe that's where this Desert Rose is coming in. So let's look at your creator cards, artist way cards, and a lot wanted to fall out for you, so I haven't looked at these yet. Daily action, fame, creativity is a fact, lucky breaks, recovering. Okay. I'm gonna put these over here. I haven't looked at your tarot cards yet either. Okay. Daily action, before I even flip this card over, I already know what the message is. Don't be so concerned with the bigger picture. Take small actions. And taking just one tiny action towards a goal every single day is how you can achieve that bigger picture. So yeah, take one small daily action instead of indulging in the big questions. So you might have some big questions on your mind. And this is telling you straight off the bat, you're not going to get the answers by swimming around in the bigger picture. Daily action. So if you have a goal, maybe it's just something simple like keeping your house cleaner, right? Maybe your new goal is just making sure that you at least hang up the laundry after you've gotten it out of the dryer instead of letting it pile up in the corner, right? Maybe it's an actual job that you're trying to get, and maybe you know that you're not quite qualified yet, so every single day you take one little hour or 30 minutes of your day to study something. So small steps, fame. Okay, now this one, think about that Theseus, right? He's like the hero of the story, but he's not that awesome in the end. This is kind of like that. It's like fame is a spiritual drug. It is often a byproduct of our artistic work, but like nuclear waste, it can be a very dangerous byproduct. I've had this card this month too, and I've been keeping it in mind because I just started this channel, right? And this has been a personal reminder for me that regardless of how many views or likes or comments or shares I might get on this channel, I am feeling called to do this at last. And I've been called for a very long time to do this, and I just haven't done it. But this is a reminder that fame is a spiritual drug. And think about social media, how we get likes and hearts and shares and how we have cares, right? And we get addicted to that. And when we post stuff and we don't get that response, maybe you're feeling like you're unworthy, and you start getting down on yourself. Whatever your project is, take small steps and daily actions, and also don't do it for any fame. And you might already be like, well, I'm not doing that. That's fine. Then don't get addicted to it when it starts rolling in, right? Okay, I'm not quite feeling the sacrificial thing yet, so maybe I was off there. Let's keep going. Creativity is a fact. Now, this is, I think I know what this message is. All of us are creative. Just as blood is a fact of your physical body, nothing you invented. Let me read that again. All of us are creative. Just as blood is a fact of your physical body and nothing you invented, creativity is a fact of your spiritual body and nothing that you must invent. Kind of like this, right? The Minotaur was born like this. It is a fact in this legend, in this theory, that this is what he looks like. He's born like this, right? We don't have to know why. We don't have to be proven or anything. It's just a fact. You're a creative person. I'm getting that Lady Gaga Born This Way. I'm on the right track, baby. I was born this way. I'm sorry, I'm a terrible singer, girl. Only because I'm not really trying, but that's what I mean. I'm on the right track, baby. I was born this way. You're on the right track. Take small daily actions. Interesting enough, her albums, her first album is Fame, and then it's the Fame Monster. Okay, you trying to do something. You're trying to do something. And I think you're second guessing yourself, but I think it's also, okay, I haven't quite figured this one out yet. Hang on, lucky breaks. If you ask an artist how he got where he is, he will not describe breaking in, but instead will talk of a series of lucky breaks. It is my contention that you can count on them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Lucky break. Somebody giving you that thread to get out of the maze. Maybe you do get a lot of publicity and fame, or, you know, support for whatever it is you're trying to do. And maybe that's where you feel like you're like trying to prove something. And I don't think you need to try and prove anything. Definitely keep an eye out for these lucky breaks. And this is just telling you that, you know, like talent will take you far, but it's very much about who you know and who you network with. Who you know and who you network with can help you get out of the maze, and keeping a level head. Understanding that it is sometimes luck that really gets you there, and being grateful when that luck gets you there. And then recovering. In recovering from our creative blocks, it is necessary to go gently and slowly. What we are after here is the healing of old wounds, not the creation of new ones. And that's, yes. You might be recovering from a creative block. And I've been there before. And this tells me to get out of your mind space, too. Get out of your mind space. You might be going over a lot of stuff. Reprogram yourself. You might be going over a lot of the past. Don't dig up these old wounds and try and work through them so hardcore. Baby steps. Don't pick yourself apart. Baby steps. Maybe you were denied some support and fame, and that's where it's like, maybe that's where some of that toxicity is coming in, right? Maybe you're not seeing that support. Maybe you're not seeing the things that you need, and that really hurts, and maybe that's where you're recovering. And that's where you're trying to prove yourself. You are creative. You can do this. It is in your blood. It's wonderful. Just look out for some lucky breaks and know that you still have to work. And all of those things will take you somewhere. But when the opportunity knocks, it's time to take and jump on that boat. When the opportunity knocks, it's time to slay that darkness, that toxicity, and get yourself out the maze. Okay. Now, let's move to your tarot. I want to see what the tarot's got to say about this, because I have a feeling they're about to open this up for me in a much better way. I was only going to pull 3 of these artist cards for you. That's what I did for all the other ones. And then some extra ones popped out, so they really wanted to talk to you specifically through these cards today. Okay, and I flipped my whole entire deck to right side up yesterday, so I'm going to flip these over. Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Beautiful. Okay, yes. Something didn't pan out for you that you were working on, and right now you're in this phase of healing. I want to bring both of these up. You got a 7 and a 7 here. 7 of stones, 7 of vessels. You are mourning something that didn't happen for you, and that's your creativity. You see where these cards came out? Somebody has made you feel like you can't do something, or you're not the kind of person that can do whatever it is you're trying to do. And again, these are artist cards. We are all artists. Artist is another word for creator. God is a creator. Look at everything he's given us. You know, whatever you call God, by any name, what have you. That's what I mean is like, this is not just about art. This is not just about writing. This is not just about whatever. This is you create all kinds of stuff in your life. So something didn't work for you. And I have a feeling that that really broke your heart. You might have put a lot of hard work into that. And you've got to go through this mourning cycle. You've got to let these emotions go, but it's paired up here with this other 7 of healing. And this is earth energy. This is emotional energy, healing. Maybe you're meditating. Maybe you're going, okay, this just told me to give you some Reiki too. If you chose pile 2, you need some Reiki healing. This is essentially what this woman's doing, right? Energy healing. She's healing this fallen warrior. He's from battle. He's hurt. He needs to rest and let the feminine energies take over him. And that's where we come back to like emotions, right? That's more feminine energy. Stop doing stuff. Let your masculine energy rest. Stop doing so much. Take tiny little steps. If you still have to do stuff, right? Like take tiny little steps. Stop working so much. You are tired. Let your emotions and your intuition heal you. But again, this is that earth energy. So this is very much like you might literally be meditating. You might literally be resting. You might literally be seeing a counselor or going to Reiki sessions or getting massages or something like that. And I think that's okay. You're recovering. Take care of yourself. Priority. Now, first card out, healing, priority. Heal yourself, priority. And that's where that mourning comes in. Recognize the phase that you're in. You're recovering. You might have had some creative blocks, but stop doubting yourself. Stop getting so hooked onto, did you get the support you wanted or not? It's okay. You are being called. Okay, very much like this channel, right? I might not get a lot of views at this point. I'm just starting out, but you know what? I've felt called to give these messages out. And you know what? If no one watches it, it still exists in the universe. Someone might see it one day. It's not all thrown away. You're going through a mourning cycle. Now, I also want to say to whoever this is for, was it a couple of years ago? About a year and a half ago. And this is actually what, okay. Oh, I'm getting a download for you guys. Yes. Okay. So about a year and a half ago, I was in this space, I feel. I was in grad school and I was working on a project. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog barking in the background. That's interesting that she was barking. I'll talk about that in a minute. I was working on a project in grad school and it did not... I was supposed to go for my grad review, which basically they give you permission to go on to graduation, right? Like you're almost done with your degree and they have to approve of your project and everything. And I did not pass. And I didn't pass of my own mistakes and everything. It wasn't like anything was vindictive, but I didn't pass. And I felt completely broken. And that was the day, though. That was the day. The day that I failed, the moment I failed. My main power is actually dreams. And this was the day that I finally really woke up. And I mean woke up. Like all of my chakras shifted. I contacted the only spiritual friend I had at the time that I thought would listen to me. I had so many bodily things happen in all of my chakra zones. I was I was literally going through my wake up because I failed at something that all of my heart and soul was in. And I didn't feel that support, and I didn't feel like what I was doing was right, and I felt like I was being called down the wrong path, and I was so confused and lost and hurt and recovering. And I was going through this mourning phase. I went through the mourning phase for like 2 months, and for one whole month after this happened to me, I didn't dream at all, which then I felt like my gifts had abandoned me, like God had abandoned me. And then one night I was laying there crying my eyes out, trying to go to sleep, and I just asked God, I said, why did you give me these gifts? Why did you give me this art? Why did you give me these projects? Why did you make me feel so called to this if it's not for me? And I specifically said, why would you make me so happy if it wasn't for me? And I kid you not, God sent me a dream that night, and it was the most powerful spiritual dream I've ever had. My grandmother that had passed away, the year before, who I never got to say goodbye to her in the hospital. Suddenly she was in my dream, and she was a bird, and she took me flying, and I she took me to heaven. I was flying in my dream. I'm telling y'all, like, spirit is here with you. The dog that was barking, that was my grandmother's dog that I adopted after she died. So I feel like my grandmother's here with me right now, and I feel like that's why I'm spending so much time talking to you about this, because what I feel in this reading right here, I haven't even touched your other cards yet. You are hurt. You are hurt. And you might be going through a spiritual awakening. You might be going through a major shift, a major awakening. And I'm here to support you on that. And I will infuse this reading with Reiki energy, because I feel it so much. And I'm just here to tell you, I've been through this phase, and I know you probably hear this 1,000 times from 1,000 people, but like, I'm almost emotional over this, like, because I've been in this space before, and I'm telling you, if you're really, really hurt, if you really had something not go down for you the way you wanted it to, and it has made you question your path and your creativity and just hurt you in this way, it's all happening for a reason. And I promise you, you do not see it now, but you will come back twice as strong. You're going to defeat the Minotaur next time. Then that's always the darkness within us, right? You're going through the maze. You're going through the maze right now for this Minotaur, inside your mind, inside your heart, inside your emotions. You're healing. You're taking some time. Like, you're walking through the maze right now. And the next time you come up against this, you're going to slay this, as I did. And I just want to say that failure is sometimes one of the most important lessons in our life. We cannot always win. You've got to fail sometimes, because that's what sends you back through this maze, to really discover yourself. And that's where I feel like this is going to come out. This is your King of Vessels, a King of Cups, emotional. Yes, I'm sorry I do that when I get so excited. It's like I get the message and I'm just like, oh yes, spirit, like, yes. You will be so much more emotionally mature when you come out of this. You are going to, if you've been really, really hurt by this, especially if it's been waking you up, you might just be in this space right now where you're like, God, I'm so sensitive. Why am I so weak? Why am I crying all the time? Why does this hurt? I shouldn't be like this. Cut that out too. You are going through some emotional evolution, and you're going to come out as this King of Cups, King of Vessels. He can be a little rigid sometimes, but that's an emotionally mature person who can put up a wall within their heart space, especially if you're like an artist and you're getting criticized a lot, as I was when I was in that space at that time that I just described. You've got to learn to put up a wall and not take everything so personally. And I know that's a lot easier said than done, but I'm telling you, that's exactly what's going on. You're going through an emotional evolution, possibly a spiritual awakening. You're being unprogrammed from all this stuff, and you're being reprogrammed to come out on top, to be a king. Whether you're a man or a woman or not, you're coming out on top to be a king. Just keep that level head. This Knight of Bows, now usually this little guy comes out as a trickster energy, but I am not feeling this today. Today this fox is your friend. This is the Knight of Bows. Bows is wands, fire energy, very much about career and projects and passion. This is telling you to push forward, be that knight, be fearless, be swift and sly and playful too, right? Foxes are kind of playful. This is, they're cunning and they're sly and they're smart and they're observant, and they'll leave you on a wild goose chase, kind of a fox hunt. But this is not what this fox is about. This fox is, they also talk about how the fox is related to dreams too, how the fox appears at dawn, and it's mostly a nocturnal creature, so it's very much about dreams and mysticism. You might be getting signs through your dreams. Maybe pay attention to your dreams. This came out under lucky breaks. So again, with like what my cycle was going through, you might get some answers through some dreams. However, this is a friend or yourself. That fire, passion, energy, you're still pushing forward, and you should. And either someone's coming to back you up and push you on to, or you need to recognize that you're this knight. You are fighting for this passion. You need to go forward. This is a very positive card today. And yeah, the reason why, you need to be celebrating. You are coming into union with yourself. Look at all these feminines dancing around. That's your emotional energy again. It's fire energy, so more related to spirit and passion, versus like vessels and cups, which is really emotions and stuff. This is your spirit celebrating. I'm telling you, you are in a dark space right now, and you feel like you're running through the maze, and you got hurt, and your number one priority is to heal and recognize that you need to mourn this phase, and that's okay. That's what you're supposed to be doing right now. If you're not making anything, if you're not going after this, you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be healing and feeling this and processing this. Why? Because your emotional evolution is far more important than this was at this time. This is important. It's very important to you. That's why you got hurt. But that's the thing. You aren't quite ready for this yet. You need to emotionally evolve, and they're turning you into a king. Spirit is turning you into the king. Right now, you're a little more like a knight. And that's okay. You need to be fiery and feisty. You still got to have that fight in you, right? But you're evolving, and that's what you need to celebrate, because inside, and these are also like all your ancestors above you, like they are celebrating with you. They are healing with you. They are feeling this with you, but they want you to find, number one, they want you to find reasons to celebrate, to help lift you out of this negative, to help lift you out of this, yes, that came under recovering. Go find some stuff to celebrate. And it's hard to do when we're in quarantine right now too, but find reasons to celebrate, find reasons to be happy. That, again, a lot easier said than done, but that's what they want you to focus on, is finding the reasons to be happy and celebrate, because that's going to help lift you out of this heavy energy, and you need that. That's your hidden block. You are in this heavy energy, and you got to lift yourself out. And that's the other important thing. That's the other part of emotional healing. As much as you can have people help heal you, you've got to lift yourself out of this. You got to make the conscious choice to lift yourself out of it. So find things to celebrate and push forward with that passion and energy. But first, 77, that's an angel number, 77. Rest. Kings are not made overnight, right? They're trained. They're programmed. They're deprogrammed and reprogrammed. Pile 2, that's so beautiful. Yeah. I have my eyes closed right now, and I'm just kind of putting some Reiki out there for you. It's already infused in this reading, but I'm doing it now here on camera just so you can understand. I'm seeing a rune in my head. Very faint rune. And I don't have my stuff with me. I believe it's Kiawaz. Means like illumination, torch, truth, fire, like Prometheus, the fire of knowledge. I think you're going to get some illumination soon through all of this about yourself. Spirit's coming to illuminate things for you within you, right? God bless you. Just know you're not alone. I've been there. If this caused a spiritual awakening, honey, it's time to wake up for a reason. Okay? Be happy. It hurts now. Be happy. You are on a beautiful path. Thank you so much, pile 2. Jump into pile 3 now. See you guys later. Hello, pile 3. So glad you chose this pile. I'm really digging this card. I've had this card as my personal inspiration all month. This is what I pulled for the Taurus new moon. So, and I really love this crystal, and I use it quite often. I haven't had to use it as often recently because I'm not out in public, but I am extremely empathic. And that's part of the lesson I received out of my last spiritual awakening, which kind of came around in very, very late November, early December. I am extremely empathic. I have to protect my energy. For me, that is my solar plexus chakra, and this lovely Bumblebee Jasper. Part of me wanted to drill a hole in it to make it a necklace so I could literally wear it like on my solar plexus, but I didn't want to ruin it because there's already like some cracks and stuff in it. So right now I just kind of tuck it in my bra during the day, and it's close to my heart, but also therefore kind of close to my solar plexus. And I wear it specifically on my right side, my projecting outside, so that it shields my aura, right? This is like me putting on my bodysuit. Especially now that I've woken up to the fact of how sensitive and empathic I can be. This is like putting on my bodysuit of armor for the day. Very masculine energy, bumblebee energy. At the same time, a bee for me is like a queen. So queen bee energy, just lovely, lovely crystal. So if you chose it for that reason, that's what I use that crystal for. And I love it. If you're empathic, I love that crystal. I've definitely seen some improvement in how I can handle my emotions and my own energy and myself after using it. So let's talk about your cards first. So this is Bossed. It's the cat energy, independence, magic, abundance. Think about a cat, right? And I've been paying more attention to my cats this month ever since I've gotten this card, because it's been advising me to stand in this energy. It's very much about playfulness. Think about how cats can be kind of playful, right? But they do it in this very specific cat-like way, right? Cats can want your attention 1 minute and then swat you away the next, right? They can be so cute and cuddly and furry and their little kitty loafs, and then they're like hissing at you. They can play with balls of string but and feathers and little things all day, but then be terrified of cucumbers and stuff, right? So playful in that kind of way. Cats are so independent too. Like, that's the thing, when they don't want to be pet, don't touch them, right? And when they do want to be pet, it's like meow, meow, meow. Like, you better give them attention. So be a cat. Very much about kind of like running your own little world, setting your own boundaries, not caring if people don't care about your boundaries. It's like if someone wanted to hang out with you or talk to you or touch you, whatever, you're just like, no. And that's fine. So, or vice versa, or when you want to go get their attention and, you know, you have to go get their attention, it's like, pay attention to me, right? So there's a little bit of that is okay. It's kind of playful when you handle it in that playful energy. The cat is well known for its independent character. In the Egyptian hierarchy of beasts, it was the supreme being. The divine mother of all cats was the goddess Bast, as depicted in this painting, an earth mother and deity of life and abundance. The Greeks associated cats with the goddess Artemis, the huntress and virgin goddess of the moon. The Roman version of Artemis was Diana, who was known for witchcraft. Interesting. Okay. Some of y'all might be some witches. Represent. Right? But very much feminine. Yeah, I'm catching feminine energy off of this, like some queen energy. It makes me think of my little queen kitty. Her name's Lilu, and she is a diva. But she is wonderful, though. She's actually my familiar. She helps heal me, which I didn't learn until I was going through a spiritual awakening, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, I own a magic cat. I never knew. So cats are just great. I love cats. Okay. Let's look at your artist cards. Now, you might not be an artist, but artist is another word for creator. Creator is another word for God. Therefore, we are all kind of artists in that way. You might be creating any kind of project, writing, art, a book, a job opportunity. Okay. Yeah, I'm already feeling these two. Yeah. And beautiful yellows. Okay, so enthusiasm is your first oracle card coming out. Being an artist requires enthusiasm more than discipline. Yeah, okay, so you might be putting too many rules and boundaries on yourself, trying to create something, right? And that's where they're saying it's more about enthusiasm than discipline. You could be disciplined all day long, like a robot, but if you're not actually excited about what you're doing or working on, then what's the point, right? That's why we always tell everybody to go get their dream job. Am I wrong? Like, you gotta know what you're enthusiastic about, because when you're enthusiastic about something, that's when you really get the good juice going, right? Discipline is just like military. Stand in a line, turn about face, do this at this time at this hour. I've set a schedule or anything like that. So tight and masculine and organized. Monday I do this from 1 to 5. Tuesday I do this from this to this. Or I must do this every single day. Cats are more loose and playful than that, right? One day they're taking a nap for like all 24 hours, and the next day they're tearing something up. Then the next day after that they're super sweet, and the next day they'll scratch you to death. Be enthusiastic. Let some of the discipline go. You don't need any boundaries or rules right now for whatever it is you're trying to work on. That is too heavy of an energy for you, and it's bringing you down. You need to be more playful. Patience is your next card coming out. We must have patience to listen to ourselves carefully. Yes, and that's what I mean. You might be trying to discipline yourself, and that's not what your spirit is saying to you. It wants you to play. You have to have patience to listen to yourself. So you might also be under some kind of time crunch, or you have put a time crunch on yourself. You have put an expectation, you have put boundaries, you put limits, you have put rules on yourself. And I have a feeling that's not your true nature. The question, are you self-destructive, is asked so frequently that we seldom hear it accurately. What it means is, are you destructive of yourself? And what that really asks us is, are you destructive of your true nature? Cats will never be anything but their true selves. And if you tried to make them do anything but that, they're going to scratch you and just hiss at you and walk away, right? I'm feeling this cat energy for you for sure. So, pile 3, are you self-destructive? Are you destructive of yourself? And that really means, are you destructive of your true nature? You are not a disciplined boundary person. You have much more, and when I think of felines too, I think of like how they slink around through stuff, and that's where I get that flow energy, right? Like they'll climb a fence, they'll climb on the roof, they'll climb a tree, they'll go lay under the couch, they are so versatile. They are so not disciplined in the sense of boundaries and rules and schedules. Like they do not care. And if you're trying to do something that's fighting your true nature like that, like if you're such a more fluid person and you're trying to really instill some rigidity on yourself, this is like, no. So are you destructive of your true nature? This is also about self-sabotage. Going after things that you know are not good for you, or also even worse though, and I say even worse, I don't want to say worse. Cats were guardians of the underworld, right? When we think of the underworld, it's not only just about the dead. We think about darkness, shadows. That makes you think of your shadow self. What in your shadow self may be causing you to be self-destructive? And that's where that hidden block is that we were talking about in the message coming from your ancestors. You are being self-destructive of your true nature. Why? Because there's something in your shadow that wants it to be destroyed. That sounds crazy to some people. You're like, but I really, really, really want this. What it is your shadow is like, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. Or if I do this, it has to be done this way because that's what everybody else does, right? It has to be ordered. It has to be rigid. It has to be disciplined. It has to do this. It has to do that. You're destroying yourself and your true dreams and your wishes. Your true nature is playful and happy and free and creative and fun and enthusiastic. And your true self is already listening to yourself, but I think that these rules and boundaries that you're sticking on here is making you not hear yourself. You need to sit down and meditate. You need to, number one, pull in your own energy and cut anyone else's energy off from you right now so that you can listen to yourself. It's surprising how many energies we pick up from other people, both like literally just talking to people and then like psychically and emotionally and things like that, right? Pay more attention to that. Block off some energies that might be trying to put you in this heavier energy of like, you must do it this way, you must have rules, you must obey, you must blah, blah, blah. I think that's hurting you. But I feel like this is more self-imposed. Like you're putting this stuff on yourself. So I think that's where you need to cut other people's energies out, because I don't necessarily feel like someone's affecting your idea. I think are in the sense of like they're trying to manipulate it. I feel like you are absorbing ideas and comments and criticism from people around you, and that's making you do this, right? Are you being destructive of your true nature? Ask yourself that as we move forward. I haven't looked at your tarot cards yet, though, so let's see what the tarot's got to say about this. And I just want to make sure they're upright. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Got a tower moment coming out. Yep. Okay. Let me sit with this one for a second. Number one, you've got this Nine of Bows, and it's respect. Coming close to wrapping up a cycle. Bows energy is all about that passion, career. Could definitely be like, it's definitely spiritual fire, the spark, right? Those kinds of things. So definitely career, passions, definitely can be relationships, but not so much in that emotional lovey-dovey way, more about like sexual energy, so things like that. I don't feel like sex for this reading or anything, so I'm going more with like career, passions, spiritual desires, spiritual journeys. This is the Nine of Bows, respect. So very much like this tried and true warrior that has been tested over time, has collected battle scars, has been learning from the battle scars, has been living in the thick of it for a long time, and has, for the most part, adapted and survived pretty well. Still on their journey though, right? Hasn't quite gotten to the point where they can say they've completed a cycle. Still learning from their past, still working on some things, still pushing forward through the thick of things. This guy's kind of crazy and wild, and that's maybe kind of where, and that's what I mean, like, I feel like you're trying to be so organized and disciplined, and I feel like you need to open up and be a little wilder. You need to look back and reflect on how far you've come and respect that journey and understand that some things might not be totally lining up with your true nature. So look back and reflect, respect where you've gone and where you've come from, and etc. But then keep that in mind moving forward, along with these oracle messages, that you need to maybe stop destroying yourself. Look and see what's destroying you and everything that you have already been through, and respect that and push forward. Why? Because you have all the tools you need to manifest this. This is the shaman, the magician. He's got water, he's got fire, he's got air, he's got earth, he's got experience, he's got everything that he could possibly need. He knows how to use his tools. He knows how to use everything that he's got. He knows how to work with spirits on the other side to achieve the healing he needs. He knows how to go to the other realms. And again, this is listening to yourself. Listen to yourself. Listen to your inner shaman. Very much could be through some dreams or meditations specifically. A shaman knows how to interact with the spirit world to gain the knowledge and truth that they need to bring back to the real world and apply to whatever is happening, whether it's an illness or an event or something like that. That's the key about the shamans. They can go communicate with the spirit world and bring that knowledge back. And not only that, but they know how to summon and call the spirit world to them because they've got all the tools they need. So this is very much like just recognizing you already got all. You see these men, very much about your masculine energies, doing energy, going forward and doing. You have all the tools you need. Be a little wild and open up. Don't be so disciplined. You got it all already. You ain't got to organize and overthink this. That's totally destroying your mojo. You've already got all of this. You just need to reflect. Now, what's coming up though for you? The block. You got a tower moment here. In this deck, it's the blasted oak, and this has a little bit of a different symbolism than the tower, but it's essentially the same thing. But I like the description of this. So this guy was previously tied and bound to this tree. Not quite like a hanged man, kind of hanging upside down, so it's kind of about the hanged man, but it's very much about the tower. So we got that lightning strike, it strikes the branch, and suddenly he comes falling and crashing. However, that's the thing, this is kind of like a combo card of the hanged man and the tower. He was tied and bound to this tree. He couldn't move. And it looks really crazy and disastrous with the lightning breaking this tree down and him falling down, but at the same time, it's like, now he's set free. He's not bound to the tree anymore. So you probably feel tied and bound. Again, coming back to these rules and these regulations, you're feeling tied up and bound. This lightning strike is going to be the thing that sets you free into this wildness, into this playfulness, and reminds you to get up and do the things that you want to do. Stop trying to tie yourself to this tree. Let the lightning strike, let it fall. The other thing I like to do with this card too is I like to flip it upside down. And when I flip it upside down, to me, it feels more like he's jumping into the air and like trying to grab a ledge almost to climb, right? So I like to bring that in as well. It's like you thought you were falling, but really you were being set free. And even when you think you're falling, if you flip it the other way, I feel like he's almost like jumping up for a ledge to grab onto, okay? This is going to lead to this is going to take a lot of stuff down. So we went from a tower moment to an ace of stones, the foundations of life. So yeah, this right here, whatever this moment is going to tear all of this rigidity and boundaries down and bring you back to square one, which is the foundations of life. And this is very real. This is earth energy. This is physically manifested energy, going back to square one. And maybe that's what you need. Not like totally square one, but this is an ace, so it's pretty much square one. But so I'm just saying that if you've been working on a project for a while, I don't think it's necessarily like you have to scrap the whole thing. I just think some kind of aha moment, whether it's good or bad, some kind of aha moment's gonna come in, a tower moment's gonna set you free from this tree that you've been binding yourself to, that you thought you had to be bound to all these disciplines and regulations that you thought you had to be bound to, and you don't have to be there anymore. And it's gonna set you free so that you can start back at square one. Now, I think this to me feels more like a warning. This is a warning that once you're free, don't waste it. Don't waste these resources. You see how these last two cards are earth energy? So this is very much about like literally coming out of spirit and actually physically manifesting this project. But I think that this is a warning for you to watch your resources. It's about exploitation. So it is about other people overworking, overusing you and your resources. However, it is very much about ourselves. There's a broken tool over here, so not managing your field, your crops, your whatever wisely. You can see the fire burning the crops in the background. All these beehives have been torn open. There's no more honey. There's no more bees. These people have not been paying attention enough to their belongings, to their livelihood, to their source of income and food, and it's being destroyed. And now they're standing here with these big bowls just looking at the sky like, why? Please, I need some. Like, so that's what I mean. This is more like a warning to me. Once you get this moment and this freedom to start over, don't waste it. It is a gift. It is a gift. Yeah, that's what I feel. When this goes down, this is a gift. Once the block clears, it's a gift. Start over. Do not waste your time or resources once you get it. Be wise. I want one more card for you. I didn't pull anything else. I want one more card after this exploitation card. What comes after that? I didn't pull any cards for any of my other piles, but I just feel like I want to know what comes after this exploitation card. Ancestors, Spirit, can I get one more after this? I'm going to take that one in reverse. Yeah. It's about decision. In reverse, it's about not making a decision. which can hold you up. It's part of wasting those resources. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. Right now is the time for you to be listening to yourself very patiently inside and digging into this. That's where you're at. You're here with this Nine of Bows respect. So you need to personally right now be digging into what might be self-sabotaging you. What are you not listening to in your soul? What do you not feel in your soul? What is it calling to you? What is it saying? I think you need to do all of that, because you got to recognize that once this moment comes, you're already prepared. It's going to reset you, literally reset you. And if you're not careful, you're going to get yourself exploited by your own self. You're going to exploit your own resources, money, the stones, money, house, food, clothing, anything physically material, right? You're wasting your resources. And why? Because you're not making a decision. Right now, make the decision that when this moment comes up, you are not going to waste it. You are going to push forward. You know you have the tools. Let go of any self-doubt. That's what make the decision right now, that when you see this come through your world, that you're not going to waste any more of your time and resources and energy on things that don't serve you, on self-sabotage, on working in a way that doesn't work for you. If you don't work like this, then don't. Because it's making you waste stuff, and it's not making you make decisions. And that's why you got to get blasted from this tree, because you ain't moving. So today, just make the decision that when this all goes down, that you're not going to allow yourself to waste your time and your energy anymore. That's your hidden block. That's your hidden block. You're not listening to yourself, maybe working in a way you shouldn't be working. Something's going to reset that. But you need to clear out any self-destructive bad habits that might be holding you back too, because it's not necessarily about outside forces, it's about what's within you. And that's what I got for you, pile 3. I hope that was informative for you guys. If you resonated with it, like, share, subscribe, and comment for me, please. Help the channel grow. I love all of you. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time.